If a video game is very successful or people really like it, that game is likely going to be continued or expanded upon and given more content to keep the game alive and give us the players more content. Like there's all kinds of DLC out there nowadays for games. Like DLC is almost expected for a lot of games nowadays. Like there's all kinds of wide variety of DLCs. Like for some games, like there's the Insomniac Spider-Man games for example, where we get a new story continuation and some more skins that are good and some are pink. Or there's games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 where they literally plague the game of DLC, but at the same time it does give us more characters to play as and more chapters of the Dragon Ball franchise to play. And of course there's the fighting game aspect of DLC where we get more characters and stages to play with, which has to be one of my favorite things of DLC when it comes to video games. I remember the hype days of Ultimate's DLC as well as MK11's as well. So with what's been said so far in this video, you can get the basic idea that when a game gets DLC, 9 times out of 10, it's usually upgrading the game and adding more sentimental value to said game to make the experience even better than what was originally intended at release. So why does Sonic Generations DLC suck complete donkey? With a game as good as Sonic Generations, you as a company would do anything to try to keep the game alive and well and try to support that game as much as possible and as long as you can and give more content to the players that really enjoyed it so they can get a better gameplay experience and have more of a reason to go back and play it. So what kind of DLC do you think good old Sega maybe thought up to give Generations? Maybe some more levels to throw in, like a new level per era? Like maybe for the classic era, they could throw in an HD version of Angel Island like the 3DS version? Or heck, maybe a new one like Starlight Zone. That would be really cool to see. And for the Dreamcast era, they could do Emerald Coast or Pyramid Cave. And for the modern era, what about Kingdom Valley or Tropical Resort or even Aptos? Or what if they didn't do stages? What if they added other characters for us to play as? Like all of Sonic's friends that are stuck in this world. We could play as Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Blaze, Silver, or even heck the Chaotix as well. Why not? Throw them in too. And we could play through all the modern stages with them, and heck, the characters that have a classic version of themselves, they can have their own classic self as well, like Classic Knuckles and Classic Amy, and even Classic Tails. Or what if they did what was done for Unleashed in 06 back then, and they gave out DLC levels that are harder and are very challenging to beat, and still hold up fantastically to this very day. So, with those ideas on the table, what did Sega do? Well, at least it's free. So, instead of having awesome DLC, we got this. What is this, Sega? Your most successful Sonic game of the decade is here, and the only DLC you could think for it is a pinball game? Here's an idea. You could have maybe, I don't know, make an actual stage. You already got the remixes of it from the 3DS version, so what's your excuse here? Oh, I get it. It would have taken some extra effort to make another stage. You have literally no excuse for this. The year has nothing to do with it. You already gave out better DLC of other Sonic games before. One that was in 2006. And then more DLC for your other game in 2008. And in case you don't remember, Sonic Generations came out in 2011. By this point, DLC was already becoming more and more just normal. So I don't know what the point of this was. I mean, it's free, so it's not the worst thing in the world. What was really the point of this DLC though is something I always questioned ever since I first saw it years ago. It's free and it was released on the same day as the game apparently, so I really don't understand why they did this. They could have done a better job with the DLC. I mean, no playable characters, no new stages. Heck, we would have gladly taken an HD version of a 3DS stage. New missions or a boss rush of some kind of anything, really. Although this DLC might completely be the worst DLC I've ever seen in my life, future titles for Sonic in the next couple of years, Sega did get better with DLC for them games. Starting with games like Sonic Lost World with the Knights crossover DLC, where that acted as a boss rush as you can go through like a Knights looking level. While I do wish that this was a bit more creative and had you like going around Knights World instead, it's still better. And also they not only released that, they also did exclusivity DLC for the Wii U, and that is DLC of Yoshi's Island, where you can play through a full 2D level as Sonic, except it's like you're playing through a Yoshi's Island level. It's really fun and really creative, to be honest. Also, of course, there is the iconic Legend of Zelda DLC where we get Link Sonic and a fully playable 3D level where we can just run around outside in Hyrule and see the Hyrule Castle in the background. You can also collect rupees and just run around and climb up walls and harass chickens. And Link will even fly by you throughout the level as well. And I really like this little touch right here. And one other little thing I want to mention, and that is where you can go up to treasure chests and get a heart, just like in the actual Zelda games. It even plays the music and has a cutscene too. This is so cool. And as a side note, I really hope Sega does something like this again with Nintendo in the future for other Sonic DLC, because this is really awesome, and I really would like to see this happen again. But that's Sonic Lost World. Other Sonic DLC for years to come would consist of character skins for Sonic Forces and stuff, and that, as well as Episode Shadow 2, which was actually something I really liked about Forces, finally letting us play as Shadow. And there was also Mania Plus 2 that added Encore mode and Mighty and Ray as playable characters, and that brings us up to now with Sonic Frontiers and its DLC, and my lord, it's gotta be the best. With the cosmetics for Sonic like the Santa Claus costume and Monster Hunter collaboration outfit as well as the soap shoes if you sign up for the newsletter, and of course there's the DLC updates to the game as well. And at the time of this video, we just had Update 2, and now we await Update 3. And did I mention all of this Frontiers DLC is free? All of this content that's just making the game better is free, and well, that's just awesome. And this Update 3 is probably got to be the best of the three, because it's giving us a new story, and also it's giving us playable characters. This is definitely going to be the most goated Sonic DLC ever. In conclusion, while Sega when it came to Sonic Generations had no clue what they were doing with the DLC and just lazily slapped something together, it's a shame they didn't get more creative for this anniversary game for Sonic. But as time went on, we can clearly see that Sega did get better with DLC for their Sonic games, and honestly, I really look forward to the potential DLC Sonic Superstars might have. But what I really can't wait for is that Update 3 for Sonic Frontiers. That's probably going to end up being the best DLC that Sonic will ever have. And this is forever going to be known as the worst DLC Sonic will ever have. Wait, what's a Sonic Origins Plus? Overall, I hate this DLC. I forever will, and I love this one. Anyways, that wraps up for today's video, everybody. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, about ever since my Sonic Generations mod video back in June, but here it is, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see another video, click the end card on screen and check out some more base vids. Anyways, I'm out. Love you all. Take care.